Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Harris, and I'm going to be talking about project closure concepts. First thing we want to talk about is the roadmap to project management success. I have here a chart or algorithm that you want to pretty much basically follow. As you can see, you have the little boxes here that go from forming a project team. You have your statement of work, which outlines your purpose, your background, and your project deliverables. Then you want to have a work breakdown structure, which identifies which teams are doing what. Your responsibility matrix shows who's responsible for this, that, or the other. And then a network chart to show the flow of traffic of how things are progressing. Your Gantt chart, as we learned in the SIM project, it will outline those people for who's going to be doing what on during this week or week 1, week 2, week 3, however many weeks you have in the project. The Gantt chart will outline who's doing what and who's scheduled to do what. Then you have your resource plans and your budgets. This lets you know whether or not you're on target, or if you're under target, or if you're over budget, and the potential to see how far along the way you're going to go by the end of the project to find out if you're going to be within the target or above or below. You perform your task, you track your progress, you have meetings regularly to manage change management and resolve any types of issues, and you're constantly updating your plan to make sure that in the end state, everything coincides with the customer's wants and desires. The role of the project manager is basically to ensure that all the project deliverables have been completed and formally accepted by the customer. He also wants to determine if the measurable success indicators were achieved and to conduct project closeout meetings, both internal and external. Internal meaning with your immediate team that you have assembled before you go over the punch list and things of that sort. And external would be your customers, your stakeholders, and end users, things of that nature. The project manager will write the final project report, identifying uh, what we use as the lessons learned, what went right, what went wrong, what can we do to make things better, and so on and so forth. And when that's all compiled, it'll be documented and it'll be also shared in the lessons learned segment. So, a summary of the lessons learned, we're going to talk about the things that went well, the things that went not so well, and the things that we could do in the future to make things better. Now, because I've worked with the SIM project, I experienced a lot of challenging situations or scenarios with the product software. The SIM project is, to my knowledge, is a third-party software company that National American University had just implemented into their newly acquired project or process management course. They just recently uh, been approved to offer this course within the last year or so, and so they've implemented some things. And the SIM project was one of those softwares that's um, supposed to aid the student or learner in gaining a better knowledge or better understanding of how to charter and go through the motions as a project manager. The software has great intentions, and the layout appears to be user friendly. However, there are some issues or concerns that in its infancy stage, I believe we used a crawl, walk, run stage in the military, and I believe that this software, in terms of its application now, is still kind of in its crawl phase. There's room for improvement to make it a little more user friendly for the students who are attending NAU. So that leads me into the what went not so well uh, on this project. The software was not very user friendly to the layperson with minimal project management experience. There was a lot of assumptions, in my opinion, that were made that the user, being myself, knows how to navigate the program based solely off of the help videos. Seemingly, every application in the project has a help video to kind of assist you in navigating through that particular assignment area. However, the help video didn't answer all of the questions or provide all the scenarios to give the learner a more accurate understanding. It could be tweaked a little bit. It's not overly bad, but like I said, for that layperson who doesn't deal with this, it could be very, very challenging. Um, Tech support, they were available for the most part all of the time, but when tech support came in, they would often have to remote into the site and look at some things that I was either doing or not doing, or what they've identified, some things that didn't even exist, or they had to modify the software for me to do it. However, the program would say that I was doing X, Y, and Z things right or wrong, but then tech support would come in and add their 2 cents, if you will, and say, you also need to do this, this, and this, which was not shown or identified in the help videos, nor was it displayed when you run the end of the week type of cycle uh, to let you know that you're doing this or that wrong. Um, but tech support overall, they were very supportive, but I constantly had to call them and my instructor and even the school to get assistance to find out what is going on and why I'm having such a problem with navigating it. Um, the issues with the software accounted for probably well over 9 hours per week of me doing additional research, albeit emailing my instructor on a regular basis to inform him of the issues, tech support, linking up with them, as well as contacting the school itself to find out if anybody has really had any experience with the software that they could help me navigate other than just referring me back to the help videos. Um, as with anything, we always want to look at what can be done to fix issues. I think Sim Project is a good idea, but a more thorough program needs to be devised to assist the learners in the application. It could be just a little bit more user friendly, perhaps even a start to finish example. When you log into it and they show a video, the first thing that you see is Sim Project is very challenging, and immediately it's letting you know, or it puts you on a defensive. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to make it through this. This is going to be one of the hardest things I ever managed. That's the immediate perception in the opening. But I would like to see just an example of, from start to finish, how it would supposedly look as I go through each step. They don't offer that, or I have not seen that on the software. Uh, but if they could make that an application, that would be um, better. Also, to provide a Dropbox for all fill-in type events. If you look at the help video, it's telling you things like, you got to schedule for this if you want to have this guy go to training for 2 weeks, or if you want to do some team building, this, that, or the other, and all that fits into that Gantt chart or your resource plan. Um, Perhaps maybe an algorithm or a Dropbox of suggested things that teams could do that you could put in there other than team building and or training. Not so sure what is out there for a project manager to give to different people, and who exactly are you training? Your subcontractors or the people within your own company, etc. Um, Now, from additional research that I have done, in closing out, this is what my views are. If this was solely based on the sim project, then maybe if my outcomes were that way, this is what I would like to see have done. So the first thing I would do is determine that if all project requirements have been fulfilled. Um, you have to be aware that there are certain documents that are required either at the end or shortly before the project closeout. And some of these items are this, right? So you want to make sure you have your warranties either written, uh, original signed warranties and guarantees from all your subcontractors and suppliers. You want to place them in your manuals, your test reports, extra materials such as the care of this, that, or the other, um, uh, your paint, your ceramic, all your additional things. Excuse me. You want to make sure that all the permits for your city, county, state, local governments, and things like that, whatever's applicable to the project, that they're included in the. You want to carefully review the punch list, as multiple punch lists may be issued on the same project. So it's safe to say you should not assume that all items are addressed at that time. You want to meet with the customer, like I said, shortly after the final project completion to verify that all items are completed to the customer's satisfaction. And first and foremost, and last and least, but not least, you always want to communicate with your customer. Keep the door open to sustain ongoing relationships with that customer as future projects may be awarded to you. So at this time, I'd like to say thank you, Dr. Flores, for your assistance. Thank you, NAU, for providing me the opportunity to take more classes with you guys. And I wish everybody a happy holiday season. Thank you.